You're right, it's not that strong now.
Justin McCarron's the deep man, and now coming up a little bit as Adam Vinatieri sizes up the ball, and we're underway in Foxborough. McCarron's a running start at the 3. Gets outside, 30, 35, and forward to about the 37 or 38 yard line, where he's brought down after a 36-yard return. There is Steve McNair, the NFL's top-rated passer during the regular season, the league's co-MVP as you look at the numbers in the AFC wildcard victory over Baltimore last week. Up front, Justin Hartwig centers the line that'll try to pave the way for Eddie George and protect McNair. The 4-time Pro Bowler George, a 10,000-yard rusher for his great career. He's never missed a start in 8 seasons. From the Tennessee 38-yard line. Linebackers up and movement up front. Our referee tonight is Bill Carollo.
Well, Steve McNair up at the line of scrimmage watching the defense. He just made the offensive line sit down too long.
False start. Left tackle number 72. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Brad Hopkins is the veteran of the group in his 11th season out of Illinois.
Hey, Greg, you look at this Tennessee Titans offense. We talked to Jeff Fisher last night, and he said, I said, what about your game plan on offense? And he looked at us and he goes, we've nailed it. We got it. He's so confident in what they're going to come out and do tonight. He thinks he can find some situations and make some big plays against this New England defense.
McNair on 1st and 15 will throw. Far side, off the fingertips and incomplete, intended for Derek Mason. A look at the Patriot 3-4 defense, a stout front threesome. Third-year defensive end Richard Seymour creates havoc for the best of offensive lines. 4 fast, tough linebackers. Teddy Bruschi has had as good a season as any linebacker could expect. In the secondary, Ty Law, 6 career interception returns for touchdowns, one of them against the Titans in their earlier meeting this season. Romeo Crennel is the defensive coordinator for New England. An outstanding defense, particularly against the run. Eddie George and Robert Holcomb in the backfield on 2nd and 15. Here's George. To the 34, maybe the 35.
You know, I talked about this Tennessee offense, what they want to do, and there's a good case in point on that play. Jeff Fisher, we want to be patient. Don't get carried away. If we get tough situations, let's punt the football. And right now, this is one of those tough situations. 3rd and long, Big Ted Washington. That's when he comes out of the game. You get faster guys in there to rush the quarterback.
Tennessee needs the 48-yard line for a first down. McNair has 5 wide receivers, and he'll work from the shotgun. Down the field, has his man open and overthrew him. Intended for Drew Bennett, who had Tyrone Poole beaten.
And look at the New England defensive players. They know they made a mistake.
Penalty marker back upfield, and it's going to be against Tennessee. Here's the call.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face. 72. Offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Again, Brad Hopkins the guilty party, and here is Craig Hentrick, Pro Bowl punter. And Troy Brown is deep for New England.
Craig Hendrick kicks a knuckleball, Jeff Fisher said, and he says if it's windy, it's going to be very difficult for the return men to get under it and catch it.
This is not the knuckleball, but it's not very deep. Fair catch called for by Brown and made at the 30-yard line. And Tom Brady will come onto the field. 12 interceptions on the season, not a one here at home in 8 regular season games. The Patriots' steady, reliable offensive line. Left tackle Matt Light's big responsibility tonight. Defensive end Javon Curse. And one of Brady's favorite receivers, Troy Brown, who notched a 58-yard touchdown catch the first time these teams met back in October.
Well, the number one key for this New England offense, they're going to throw the football. They're going to spread it out. They do not want Tom Brady to get hit early. Get rid of the football quickly. It's always a good plan against a good defensive front.
Antoine Smith to the 30-yard line. Let's check the Tennessee defense. It's big and athletic and talented front four. Javon Curse led the way during the season with 9.5 sacks. Keith Bullock on his way to the Pro Bowl off an outstanding season. His fellow linebackers, Peter Sermon and Brad Castle. And the secondary, 6th-year cornerback Samari Rolle had a team-leading 6 interceptions during the regular season, and he added one last week in the playoff win over Baltimore. 2nd and 11. Smith again to the 35, maybe just across the 35 before Kevin Carter made the stop. You know, excuse me, Phil, we've heard louder crowds here in New England. The weather may have something to do with that.
Well, you know, when it's 4 degrees, Greg, you sit on your hands a lot of time, and you just they were late arriving too. We were sitting here and I wondered how many fans would stay away because of the low temperatures, but as I look around, not many people did stay away. They're here, they're excited, and watching the opening of the game.
3rd and 5. Brady throwing wide open over the middle is Kevin Falk, and Falk into Tennessee territory to the 45-yard line and a first down.
This New England offense does so many things, but one of the best plans they usually have, they spread you out, and then they get Kevin Falk coming out of the backfield against a linebacker. Nice move to the outside. He makes the fake. Peter Sermon goes for it, and then when he comes back inside, look at it. Nobody there to make the tackle once he gets past the linebacker.
First down, New England, and Brady to throw with time. Throwing it. It is incomplete. Intended for number 87, David Gibbons. Crowd wants interference. None called.
Well, what you always want to do, Lance Schulter is number 31. When you're an offensive coordinator or your offense, you want to get matches you think that favor you. You got a wide receiver in David Gibbons going against the safety. You expect him to get separation. That time, excellent job by Lance Schulters.
2nd and 10, and now Antoine Smith and Larry Centers spread out as 4th and 5th receivers. Quick pass out here, and that is complete to Centers. And Centers to about the 41. Peter Sermon coming up with the stop.
Well, we watched practice, Greg, on Thursday. You see so many things from this New England offense. They got 2 backs. They spread to 5 wide receivers, and it's a good adjustment by the Tennessee Titans defense. Jeff Fisher, what did he say last night to us? He goes, hey, I know they're going to do this. They're going to shift to that. And he went through everything that we saw in practice Thursday, and you just got to laugh. In the NFL, it's hard to fool the opposing coach because of all the studying they do.
There's a lot of studying to be done, too. The 41-yard line. 3rd and 6. And Brady calls timeout. So Brady calls timeout, stops the clock with 11:05 to play in the first quarter. Scoreless in frigid Foxborough.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by January 19th.
You are now free to move about the country.
I would have gone vanilla with that sweater.
Ice cream, $3.
I think I would have parked a little closer.
Gas, $22.
Whoa. I think...
Haircut, $30.
What? have looked out for the water main. Well, that's just me.
Monday morning quarterbacks. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I would have double bagged it.
I said, Joe, think of the family. It's comfortable. It's not too big, not too small. It's got a DVD. End of discussion.
I said, Liz, we need a man's SUV. I mean, this thing tows like a son of a gun, and it's got a Hemi. Done deal.
The all-new Durango. Big size, smooth ride, Hemi power.
And Joe completely understood.
Liz finally saw it my way. Soda?
The all-new Dodge Durango, starting under $26,600.
You can help fight AIDS. Learn more.
Jim Nantz in New York with the update on Carolina and the Rams and the Panthers on the first play of the second overtime. It's Steve Smith, 69 yards. The Panthers move on to the NFC title game, knocking out the Rams tonight. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim. Boy, Phil, you and I were talking about that game earlier and how those lost opportunities by the Rams earlier in the game in the red zone could come back and bite them. They've done that. 3rd and 6 for Brady and the Patriots. Brady gets all kinds of protection, throwing down the middle, caught, touchdown. Bethel Johnson, the rookie out of Texas A&M.
Bethel Johnson might be the fastest guy on the football field tonight. Again, you got a wide receiver against Lance Schulters, who is a safety, who usually plays back, and it's going to be tough for him against a wide receiver of this speed. Tom Brady sees it and makes a perfect throw.
Lance Schulters, number 31, and Lamont Thompson, number 37, were looking at each other even before Bethel Johnson crossed the goal line. Vinatieri's extra point is good. Tom Brady with the touchdown pass to Bethel Johnson, and the Patriots grab the early 7-0. Nothing warms the hearts of New England's fans as much as a touchdown pass from Tom Brady. 41 yards to Bethel Johnson. And once again, Patriots make it a habit of scoring on the opening drive. They lead at 7-0, and now Justin McCarron's deep. This one's going to come up short. Karen picks it up at the 17. Goes right up the middle and across the 35 to the 37, and let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, let's look at what happened to this Tennessee Titans defense. Lance Schulters is here. He's going to run out and try to run with Bethel Johnson. That's Lamont Thompson, who has to be in the middle of the 2 wide receivers at the top. The speed of Bethel Johnson, watch it from the cable cam. Really good view. Lamont Thompson in the middle, can't come over and help out Lance Schulters.
Tom Brady celebrating. Phil, you picked up on it on Thursday. The wind, the temperature wasn't as low, but the wind was blowing tremendously on 30. So it had to be at least as cold as this, maybe even colder, and Tom Brady had no problems throwing the ball at all.
You know, I'm cautious when I tell people that. We talked about it in the pregame, Greg, to the studio show, and the guys, he was terrific in just terrible conditions. And he's good at it because Bill Belichick always keeps him outside to practice.
McNair going to throw. And he's got his man. 85 is Derek Mason, and Mason across midfield to the 46 of the New England Patriots.
Yeah, there's a couple things when you watch it. Jeff Fisher said, look, we're going to get behind probably. They're going to make a big play, score. We just got to come back and answer and settle the game down again. And look, it's easy to say that as a coach when you have the big guy on your side, and that's Steve McNair. This weather, would you think this would bother Steve McNair? Going through the injuries, he's big, he's tough, he's got hands as large as any quarterback in the league. He can handle the cold elements.
On first down, Eddie George coming this way. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. No game, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And there is Steve McNair, co-MVP of the National Football League, along with Peyton Manning, and just outstanding. No question that he's the man who carries these Tennessee Titans. And you're talking about him playing in the cold weather. Phil, we asked him last night, have you ever played in cold weather? As you look at his numbers on his career and his season. And he said, well, yeah, it was really cold in Youngstown, Ohio. He said, how did you do? He said, I threw it 80 times for over 400 yards.
Just 82 throws.
2 tight ends. And McNair to throw on 2nd and 10. Coming across, that's complete to Drew Bennett. And Bennett with speed up the sideline and out of bounds just short of the 20-yard line.
Well, there's a lot to worry about when you play this Tennessee Titans offense. First, the quarterback, then you got Eddie George behind the center, but now they have the receiving core to complement the thrower and the runner, and Drew Bennett is just one of those receivers. They're big, they can fight for the ball, and that's all we heard from New England. Wow, these guys, they go and get the football, they catch it, and Steve McNair told us, I like my guys against anybody.
Steve McNair is not shy about putting it up and letting his receivers go get it. First down at the Patriot 22. George inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line.
And that's where you want to run the football against the Patriots. Why do you want to do that? Well, why would you want to run inside if you're Mike Heimerdinger, the offensive coordinator, when Ted Washington, the greatest run stopper in the league, is inside? So you go off tackle. That's where they want to go. They had a little success in that run, so they know the plan is solid. Can you keep executing it? There's Big Ted.
Ted Washington in the middle of that defensive line. 2nd and 6. McNair almost picked off. And now here's a penalty marker down as Roman Pfeiffer almost picked it off, but that's Richard Seymour.
Oh, I was watching down the field, so I did not see Richard Seymour either get the late hit or he might have just fallen on top of the quarterback, which is also a personal foul.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 93, defense driving the quarterback into the ground, automatic first down.
So it's not a late hit. It's once you hit him. Oh, yes, and he fell right on top of him. You cannot take the quarterback down and drive your body weight into him. And I know it sounds silly. It's a contact sport, but you got to help the quarterbacks out and protect them.
The rookie Chris Brown, number 29 in the backfield on 1st and goal. He gets the handoff. Inside the 5 to about the 4. Teddy Bruschi making the stop. This is a New England defense that has been very, very stubborn all season long.
That's an understatement. With all the words you know, you could come up with something better than stubborn. It's unbelievable, whatever. The Titans almost scored half the points in one game that the Patriots gave up in 8.
2nd and goal. Brown the other way. Cuts it back to the end zone. Touchdown.
Off the tackle. That is one impressive drive by the Tennessee Titans.
4 yards.
I'm sorry, Craig, but now I understand when we met them last night. They weren't cocky, but they were close to it. Look off the right tackle. Good job at drive blocking. Zach Pillar, Justin Hardwig, and Chris Brown, just like last week, gets near the goal line. They bring him in. He's got the speed and good vision to get in there for the touchdown.
Chris Brown, with no touchdowns during the regular season, had now scored 2 in 2 postseason games, and Jeff Fisher very high on him last night. Said simply, we found our future in the running back.
He's been resting. He's waiting for the big moment. It's a big game plan.
Anderson's kick is good. 7:31 to play in the first quarter. And Jeff Fisher has seen what he wanted to see. He wanted to see how his team would answer a score. They come right back and we're tied.
Well, that penalty and the good run blocking, I think that was the big surprise to me of that scoring drive.
Number 81, Bethel Johnson, is the deep man in the return. This is very short. On the far side of the field from the 23 is Kevin Falk. And Falk across the 35 and piled out of bounds at about the 36. Sunday on CBS, it's the People's Choice Awards. Vote for your favorite stars in movies, music, and TV at CBS.com. Charlie Sheen and John Pryor host the People's Choice Awards. That's live Sunday at 9, 8 Central on CBS. Bill Belichick looking on.
Yeah, they're not used to seeing this crowd. You know, they're a little stunned, Greg, because they haven't seen a team march down the field really and score a touchdown like that in quite a while.
Well, they also haven't seen the water come up out of the water fountain and stay there in midair either. Antoine Smith and Larry Centers in the backfield with Brady. Play fake. Brady with time throws this side, incomplete, intended for Centers out of the backfield. Peter Sermon on the coverage.
Well, let's go back and look at this touchdown. Was Chris Brown's knee down before he got across the goal line? It's really close. It hits. Looks like it could be just inside the 1 yard line, but really it's tough play for Bill Belichick to challenge. But again, Benji Olsen, Fred Miller, and Justin Hardwig really moved that defensive line backwards for that touchdown run.
Brady to throw on 2nd and 10. Quick slant, that's complete. Dedrick Ward. Ward inside the 45 to the 42-yard line of the Tennessee Titans, and that's a first down.
Well, we talk so much about the conditions. It's so cold, and how will the players deal with it? Well, both teams dealing with it exceptionally well. Tom Brady right on target. Dedrick Ward catches it with his hands, and something they don't get a lot of sometimes, yards after the catch.
Tom Brady, we asked him the other day if he will wear a glove. He said absolutely not. Doesn't like the sticky feel. Throws this side, and that's complete to Gibbons. And Gibbons out of bounds at about the 33 or 34 yard line.
And you know, Greg, he doesn't want to wear that glove. He has such confidence. He's learned to control the football as well as anybody I watch. He's got a strong arm, and again, we can't state this enough. These guys practice, and they've played many games this year in really tough elements, and he's always handled it extremely well.
He said, will you wear a glove? No, I won't wear the glove on the throwing hand. Will you wear the pouch? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And get that hand in there quick.
This is Antoine Smith. And Smith short of a first down. And it'll be 3rd and short.
Well, Tom Brady has been terrific at home this year. He's just been almost perfect. They've won all their home games this year. 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. And again, a lot of those games have been in high wind, rain, snow, and on a really bad field. The field, hey, Greg, let's talk about it. It looks terrific from what it was before.
On short yardage is Larry Centers straight ahead, and he is very close to a first down.
Yeah, he didn't get a great spot.
And we're going to get a measurement. Yeah, we have seen the field here at Gillette Stadium much more torn up than it is now. It's beautiful by comparison.
What did Tom Brady say at the end of the season? Yeah, let those teams come up here and play us on our crappy field. So this play, it's not close. It's going to be 4th down.
The offense still on the field. Although Tom Brady takes a walk up and takes a close look, we are going to get a measurement.
Oh, there we go. Okay. You know, we can't do any on cameras tonight. You know that too. So, because your nose is running, you're a mess. You got army boots on. You know, Mr. Whatever, you're all beat up with this cold weather.
Annie M., I know we're nowhere near the equator. 4th and 1, and Bill Belichick says go for it.
Absolutely. You don't want to punt it too far for a field goal, and it's inside 1 yard.
Here comes the Patriot fans. Out of the I formation, Antoine Smith, the deep back. throws it out here to the side. It is complete. Christian Fourier made the catch for a first down, New England.
Boy, you talk about just making plays, and that's all this is. The Tennessee Titans are not even fooled at all. Tank Williams is all over Christian Fourier, and Tom Brady knows time is running out. He just throws it, hoping to get fortunate, and Christian Fourier just goes and gets the football.
Inside the Tennessee 25. New England with 104 passing yards already. Smith, left side, trying to turn the corner. Breaks it to about the 21-yard line.
You know, you hear so much. I listen to the pregame shows all the time, and they talk about New England. They're a one-dimensional team. And you're right. They're not very pretty when they run the football. They don't gain a lot of yards, but they still keep running it. They get their attempts in there. They run the ball about almost 30 times a game. They're going to keep their rhythm and try to keep you honest. So the most important part of their offense, passing, sometimes can catch you by surprise.
Left guard Damian Woody has left the game with a leg injury. We'll keep you updated if we find out. The quick pass to the outside. Kevin Falk couldn't hold on.
In so many elements, Keith Bullock, the linebacker for the Tennessee Titans, we're talking to him, and he says, I got their offense down. I got it. I've got it figured out. When they do this, he's going through all of it. And then he kind of looks and he laughs. He goes, yeah, but whatever you study against these guys, it's always the opposite when you play the game. So they just do everything. You just don't know what they're going to feature when you play them. Tonight, a lot of it's going to be spread the field, and they're going to let the defense dictate whether they run or throw it.
Bullock, the Titans' leading tackler. 3rd and 7. Little movement up front, and this one is going to go against the Patriots. Right tackle Tom Ashworth appeared to jump.
Prior to the snap, false start, 68, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, by the third quarter, Bill Carollo, he's going to sound like he's drunk because he's already getting a little frozen. Prior to the snap. Oh, so it's you can tell it's cold when you just listen to him talk out there.
So now it's a 3rd and 12.
They're going to play zone. The big plays have already backed off the Tennessee Titans defense.
Brady rolling this way. All kinds of time, and now throws for the end zone. It is incomplete. Pass is intended for Deion Branch. And Scott McGarrahan was covering.
Oh, and Scott McGarrahan might have got away with one that time. He might have pulled down the arm of the receiver, but this was a play that the Patriots were hoping to score a touchdown on. Scramble Tom Brady to the right and throw it to the back of the end zone, but Tennessee was waiting on it.
Now, here's Adam Vinatieri, and one of the questions about playing in cold weather is how that football is when you're kicking what amounts to a rock.
I'm sure that's what it feels like.
44-yard attempt. Kick is on the way, and it's no good. Hook to the left. Jeff Fisher's defense holds. 3:59 to play. First Gumble, Phil Simms, Armin Katayan, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Tennessee 7 and New England 7, and the Titans take over at their own 34-yard line. Eddie George and Robert Holcomb in the backfield. And McNair going to put it up. Going to go deep down the sideline. It is intercepted. Rodney Harrison. And Harrison is down at his own 43-yard line. McNair threw 3 interceptions last week against the Baltimore Ravens. And throws one here tonight. Chad Meyer, the intended receiver. Rodney Harrison got there first. Off the Rodney Harrison interception, Brady gives to Smith. And Antoine Smith can find no running room whatsoever. Javon Curse led the charge, and let's go back to the interception.
Well, let's go back. It's Rodney Harrison against Chad Meyer on the outside. Bill Belichick said, This is the best group of cover people I've ever had in my career in the secondary. And Rodney Harrison has been terrific all year. I think, I'm not going to say, he is definitely one of the best pickups in the free agent market that any team made around the whole league. A great tackler, and he can cover tight ends and wide receivers down the field.
Brady to throw on 2nd and 13. Has time. Now pulls it down. Got rid of it, and it is incomplete and almost intercepted by Bullock.
Well, if you make Tom Brady hold on to the football long, he is going to get pressure from the front four. But Keith Bullock dropping back in zone. Read the quarterback come up. He throws, react to it, just can't quite come up with the catch. Tennessee, though, I said it earlier, you give up a few big plays, that'll back you off and make you a little scared, and you better be careful.
Brady 0 for his last 3 throwing the ball, sends Falk in motion.
And they backed up again.
Quick pass over the middle. That's complete. Bethel Johnson looking for running room. Goes the other way. Brady throws a block. Turning the corner. First down. What a run by Bethel Johnson.
Tom Brady throws the block on Lance Schulters. That's what lets Bethel Johnson get around to the outside. Tennessee's dropping back. They make you throw it short. When you throw it short, you got to make the tackle. They over pursue. Tom Brady comes back. That was the block that did it. And again, Bethel Johnson, his speed, making it work for him.
From the Tennessee 46, Brady throwing. His Fourier forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line to about the 27.
Well, I watch this offense, Greg. We've done enough Patriot games. I talk about it all the time. I've said it tonight. They do a lot of stuff. What did Tom Brady say to us the other day? We had some laughs about it. He goes, this offense is Tom Brady friendly. This offense is Tom Brady friendly. That's what he talks about. It just does a little bit of everything. A lot of short throws, makes it easy on him physically, and then when he has to read the defense, he's been taught well, and he does it very well.
Now on first down, Brady throwing, incomplete. That's intended for David Gibbons. It'll be 2nd and 10. We are having some intermittent transmission problems, and we apologize for that.
You think that's because of the cold weather? How would you know?
My thoughts exactly.
Oh, that's how would you know? That's right. Boy, I tell you, just never be surprised. So many people ask me around here the last couple of days, what about the weather, this, that? I said, these guys are pros. They have learned to execute and play in extreme conditions, and everybody's handling it well so far.
Brady still with the football, throws off inside the 15-yard line to the 14. Fourier with the catch, and it's a first down, and we've got a penalty marker down. Carlos Hall comes walking off the field, pointing to the Patriots. Carlos isn't wearing a striped shirt.
Yeah, he's pretty confident, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was rushing the passer. They held me. I'd have sacked him. I was there.
Holding, 99, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
99 is the rookie Ryan Long.
What happens now more than it has in the past? They want to do this when they can. Defensive linemen grab other defensive linemen to free up one of their teammates. If you do that, the umpire will see it and he will throw the flag.
This is Antoine Smith, and Smith inside the 10 to about the 7.
You know, we talk about this New England offense. When they run it, that was a run. It was almost like catch you by surprise. They do it with formations. And also, Tom Brady does something a lot of quarterbacks just don't do enough. He went up there, quick count, That quick count was enough to give his running back the edge, and that's why he picked up 5 or 6 yards.
We are in the final 50 seconds of the first quarter, 2nd and 5.
You got to keep him off balance, Greg. There's a talented people on the other side. You do anything you can to help your team.
Quick pass to the side. That's complete to Branch, and Branch to about the 6-yard line. Yeah, as some coaches tell us, those other guys are also on scholarship.
Yeah, $1 million scholarships. That's the one you're on.
It appears that will be the end of the first quarter. It doesn't look like the Patriots will run another offensive play before time winds down. We'll take the trek to the other end of the field, much to the delight of the fans at the opposite end of the stadium. Full overtime game in NFL history. That's what happened earlier today in the NFC side of the postseason. Carolina knocked off the St. Louis Rams in St. Louis. Another good outing for the Panthers. John Fox, Jake Delhomme. Antoine Smith, Larry Centers in the backfield, 3rd and 3. Brady still has the football, looking in the end zone, looking, gonna run for it, and dives and has a first down.
Oh, that was a really good job by Tom Brady. He made the defensive players think pass to the very last second because they've got the receivers covered. There's a linebacker right in front of him, but just those little ball fakes keep them back. Peter Sermon could have reacted quicker. It looks like he got the first down easy from that angle.
Sermon and Kevin Carter converged as Brady continues to walk it off. We will get a measurement on the far side of the field.
Yeah, he's that leg now. He hurt his, I thought he hurt his knee in the game against Buffalo 2 weeks ago. Walking a little gingerly around on it right now. But when you watch Tom Brady run, and I say this with a little humor, because he tells us, he asks us almost every single week, what's he say, Greg? Is there any quarterback in the NFL slower than me? And I go, Tom, no, there is not. I'm not even going to argue the point. And he laughs. He goes, God, I'm slow. And he works on it, he tries, but he has tremendous awareness, very good movement in the pocket, and it doesn't matter that he doesn't have fast foot speed. He buys extra time, and there he used his little pump fakes to pick up the first down.
Dan Klecko, the lead blocker in the backfield now, a defensive lineman on 1st and goal. This is Smith trying the left side, looking for the end zone. No touchdown signal yet. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't see how anybody could tell. There was about 20 bodies in the pile, but it's just good movement by the Patriots offensive line. Oh, Dan Klecko gets a pretty good lick in there, but the Tennessee Titans fight hard, and it's a very good spot by the officials. Antoine Smith, Keith Bullock, terrific hit. Boy, look at Dan Klecko.
Dan Klecko made it to the end zone. It's Antoine Smith, the ball carrier, came up short.
He's still fighting.
11th play of this drive. Smith, touchdown.
Power by the New England Patriots. Well, let me change that. Power by Antoine Smith. Know where you're at on the field when you need a half a yard. Just run into them, run them over. Excellent drive by the New England offense.
Vinatieri for the extra point. And it's good. With a defensive lineman, Dan Klecko, leading the way. Antoine Smith puts the New England Patriots back on top. The Patriots hardy faithful. Look at that sign. It says Eskimo up.
I like it.
Vinatieri to kick. Justin McCarron deep to receive. Patriots back on top, 14-7, and 13:46 to play in the first half. This one coming up short. McCarron's on the run to the 20-yard line, up the sideline and out of bounds across the 35 at about the 37 or 38-yard line. And we'll take a moment to remind you, Sunday on 60 Minutes, when a former George W. Bush insider says at cabinet meetings the president acted like a blind man talking to the deaf. That's a story for 60 Minutes. Jeff Fisher will have a chance to see how his team answers as they've fallen behind by a touchdown.
I think he'd like to see one time how's the other team going to answer, but so far they've been behind. Look at the number of total plays so far in the game. New England, a team that comes out and they are aggressive on both sides of the ball. A lot of looks on offense and a lot of looks on defense.
McNair to throw on first down. And that one's complete to the 43-yard line. The pass is completed to his tight end friend Frank Wycheck, who from all indications is in the final days of his fine career. This is the 11th season out of the University of Maryland. Wycheck was acquired from the Redskins on waivers, and Jeff Fisher told us without a doubt he has been an integral part of this franchise's success.
When they made their Super Bowl run the last time, Greg, Frank Wycheck was the passing game for the Tennessee Titans offense.
2nd and 4. Here's Eddie George. And George twists his way across the 45 to the 46, and Teddy Bruschi is there to meet him along with Richard Seymour. A pickup of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
You know, we were talking about Steve McNair earlier in the game, and you know, Greg, one thing that comes to my mind, you remember years ago when they were making their Super Bowl run, he was throwing about 15 to 20 passes a game, and nobody thought he could survive or was a good quarterback because of that. So he learned to win that way, and he has shown he can win by throwing the football a lot.
Eddie George off the field. Chris Brown has replaced him, and he's flanked out to the side as a receiver. Big blitz. The pass is complete. Derek Mason inside the Patriot 45 to the 44, and a Tennessee first down.
Here is the key for the Tennessee Titans against the looks of the New England Patriots defense. They're going to blitz. They are going to get guys free, but it's going to be to the outside, and it's Steve McNair can catch it and get rid of the football before Mike Vrabel can get there. Jeff Fisher said, protect them inside. If we make them come outside, the free guy, Steve McNair, will find an open receiver or make the outside blitzer missing.
On first down from the 44-yard line, McNair to throw it again. All kinds of time and over the middle to Eddie George, and he is hit immediately after catching the ball by Teddy Bruschi. Boy, we were talking just amongst ourselves about Eddie George. Talk about a courageous performance a week ago against the Baltimore Ravens. Suffered a separated shoulder, came back, and was the heart and soul of the Titans' victory in the second half.
You know, to say he's tough, that's like being silly. It's much more than that. And Eddie George, he talked about tonight's game, and he says, man, I'm going to have to do it the hard way running. That's 1 and 2 yards at a time. Get contact, fall forward, try to help the offense stay in good situations. But he really is just got a tremendous heart and tremendous courage.
George again to the left side. And he is at about the 37.5-yard line.
And when you talk about Eddie George, when you watch him run, every time he's hit, even though he stands up tall when he runs, he almost always falls forward. And look what he has done since 1996. Just been one of the most productive running backs in the National Football League. A very good leader and one of the vital parts to the Tennessee Titans team.
I like the way he approached this game. He said, we're going to have to do it the hard way. 3rd and 3. Chris Brown is in the lineup now.
Here they come.
McNair outside. That's complete. Mason inside the 20, out of bounds. Or inside the 30, rather, to the 25-yard line. Eugene Wilson forced him out.
Yeah, really, just another good job. They faked me out. They did not blitz. They were trying to cover all the inside receivers, but Steve McNair is just too cool. Very relaxed against this defense, and Derek Mason is just too good. And Steve McNair, again, I always ask quarterbacks this when they play the New England Patriots. What do you think? He goes, oh, I got it. It's not that bad. They're not going to confuse me. And so far, he has shown he is not confused.
McNair from the shotgun on first down. Throws outside. Mason once again forced out of bounds at the 20. I thought Jeff Fisher was very interesting last night when he said that he has preached patience all week long and the integrity of protection. There will be no unblocked rushers on Steve McNair tonight.
Well, inside, they're going to come free, Greg, because they're going to bring more than you can protect against. But the wide receivers, they're a tremendous group. They like their matchups, and so far, when they're getting those one-on-ones, they're doing a good job of getting open.
9.5 minutes to play first half. Just inside the 20-yard line, McNair again from the shotgun. With time. All kinds of time.
Oh, he missed a wide-open receiver down the middle.
Still on the move, and now he's going to run it out of bounds.
I know they ran this play against this defense for one reason. For Derek Mason to get down the middle to throw against the two deep safeties. When you see safeties separate, you want to go down the middle. Steve McNair's looking, but he comes off of it too quick. Look at Derek Mason in the end zone. Nobody from New England ever picked him up.
And there's a loss of 7 on the play, which creates a 3rd and 11. The Tennessee Titans don't allow many sacks. This is the first in the last 102 pass plays.
That is awesome.
3rd and 11. Gonna run out of time. Penalty marker is down. That will be delay of game.
Well, they got to be careful that they don't lose too many yards here and lose a chance at kicking a field goal. You know, too, Greg, as we wait for this call, I just think it's interesting the way both coaches kind of prepare their teams for the game. Bill Belichick prepares his team, no rah-rah speeches. He says, if I get them prepared, they'll come out, they'll play hard and be really aggressive because they know what's going on. So that's the way he does it. He says, no speeches. Now, on the other side, you got Jeff Fisher. We're waiting for the call. But on the other side, you got Jeff Fisher, who does the opposite. He's looking for little edgy things to get his team emotional. Wait for the call.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
But we were talking to him last night, so we laughed because it's not that he's making it up, but he's looking for angles. Nobody gives us a chance. They talk about the weather. Hey, they're prepared for the Super Bowl. I can't wait to tell my team all this. And I just go, wow, if there's nothing there, he'll find a way to get it going.
Jeff Fisher is the epitome of the us against them approach.
Oh, he loves it.
3rd and 16. Fakes the throw the other way, and now the quick pass to Wycheck, and Wycheck is dragged down at the 28-yard line. That will bring the field goal unit onto the field.
Yeah, that was a good call by the Tennessee Titans. Willie McGinnis does a really nice job of rushing the passer, stopping, and then falling back and making the tackle. When you talk about screen plays, defensive linemen and pass rushers have to be good at making the tackle from behind.
You know, I made the assumption that it was the field goal unit, but I don't see Gary Anderson out there.
No, could be a long field goal.
With Craig Hentrick.
He was good from about 50 in this direction in pregame warmups.
And play clock winds down to double zeros here. And another delay of game penalty against the Titans.
Well, you were right. It's like they're going to punt it.
And you mentioned it before, Craig Hentrick.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Craig Hentrick, and Jeff Fisher was just raving about it last night, kicks a knuckleball. And particularly in this kind of weather, it could be extremely difficult to handle.
Yeah, I have not had a chance to see it in person, so I go, well, if this is really good, then other punters around the NFL have got to try to learn how to do this.
And he picks his spots for when he wants to use it. Troy Brown is deep. straight up.
There it is.
And not much spin on it. But it takes a New England bounce.
And you saw New England wanted no part of it. Let it bounce.
14-yard punt. Knuckleball or no knuckleball. That doesn't help the field position. Work from his own 19. Running play straight ahead. Antoine Smith across the 30 to the 32-yard line. All during the timeout, we were just marveling at that kick of Craig Hendrick. Take a look at it.
As it's coming down, it is drifting. It's doing everything but coming down straight. And Troy Brown did the appropriate thing. Get out of the way, because you never know where it's going to bounce once it hits the ground.
You consider the way that ball is going and any wind that would take hold of it and the cold weather. Antoine Smith right side across the 35 to about the 37-yard line where Peter Sermon makes the stop.
Well, good job by the Patriots up front, just showing some power. And Antoine Smith, he is a no-nonsense runner of the football. Get it, maybe look for an open hole. If it's not there, run in somebody and get some yards, because that's how they play offense here in New England. Gain a couple, give me the run-pass option on second down.
Brady to throw on 2nd and 5 this side, and then came up short to Deion Branch. It'll be 3rd and 5. I'll tell you how else they play offense here, and Brady just kind of nonchalantly said it, but you can tell that it's a philosophy that comes down from Bill Belichick all the way through. They want to put pressure on every single play.
Yeah.
Continue to apply pressure with everything that you do on the field.
That's how they play football, Greg. You're right. And Tom Brady says we've won so many games this year because the other team just gives up. We persevere because we just keep doing stuff. And we keep coming after you from both sides. And the other team just gets tired of it. They give up sometimes. They don't know it. And a big play happens.
Brady with time. Got rid of it. Almost interception and almost caught. Lamont Thompson got his fingers on the football. Ball's incomplete.
I tell you what, Tom Brady, when he let it go from his hand, I know what he was thinking. It's perfect. But Lamont Thompson, number 37, he's big and he's rangy, and he's got about a 2 feet more of a reach than you expect. And he has it in his hands. Oh, he just gets a fingertip on it, not able to bring it in.
Troy Brown, no catches today so far. Low snap. Ken Walker gets it away. This one is going to bounce.
Well, I would call it a bounce.
Kind of a thud at about the 35-yard line and rolls to a stop. So we're in report. And George to about the 37, close to the 38-yard line. Let's go down to Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, you guys are talking about Eddie George. He's really one of those rare athletes who let his actions speak louder than words. The linebacker Keith Bullock telling us last night in that wild card game against the Ravens when Eddie showed up and played with a dislocated shoulder, he said he put it on the line without saying it. He said this is what it's all about in the playoffs. Nothing given to you. You have to take it. He's making a similar statement tonight. That shoulder's in a harness. He's taking a shot. He's got a sore ankle, but he's back in that starting lineup where he's always been, Greg. Back to you.
Armin, he even said it, that he and the rest of his teammates have the mindset of warriors going to the playoffs every year. Down the field, that pass is complete. Derek Mason. And a fine throw by Steve McNair right on the money.
This play really exemplifies Steve McNair a lot, too. He just looked down the field. Nobody was open. Looked to the right, looked to the center, and then he finds Derek Mason opened on the left side in between two defenders. And years ago, Steve McNair would have ran the football and got 3 yards, and we all went, wow, that's the element he brings. He gets 3 yards. Now he's learned to stand in the pocket, and he gets 25 and 30 yards.
A little stutter step from George, and he is close to the 30-yard line. You know, Bill Belichick, whenever we talk to him, you can't say that he goes overboard in his praise of other players. And he's hardly that. So when he sat there on Thursday and said, now, Mason is a really good football player, you know that he has the respect of Bill Belichick.
Yeah, and Greg, we watch him on film, but when you watch him in person, Derek Mason is quick and fast. and he's really creating problems for New England secondary.
Mason, 5 catches for 72 yards tonight. A 2nd and 7 for Tennessee. George to the 28.
You know, I watched Eddie George run the football, and we were talking last night. I just said, you know what Eddie George is? He is a playoff running back. And what I mean by that is he gets 2, 3, and 5-yard gains, the tough gains that keep you in good situations. He's not going to dodge a bunch of people and pick up 20 or 30, but he gets those hard yards. You know, almost like playoff hockey. There's playoff hockey teams that are good in the regular season. Some are good in the playoffs. Eddie George is good for the playoffs.
Tennessee racking up the yardage this quarter, but looking for the end zone. 3rd and 5. Chris Brown up the middle, inside the 20, to the 15, and a first down.
Oh, that caught everybody by surprise. New England, they spread out 4 wide receivers. They're covering the inside receivers to each side. Now there's nobody in the space except Teddy Bruschi, who gets blocked, and it allows Chris Brown to run for the first down.
13-yard pickup, the longest run by Tennessee tonight.
Boy, when Chris Brown comes in, pay attention to him because they give the ball to him.
He's the lone back behind McNair now. First down from the 15-yard line. Brown right side to about the 13. And with that, we're going to roll up on the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in Fox. The NFL on CBS, appropriately enough, in ice. Cold football games? Oh, you betcha. The Raiders in Buffalo, it was 0. San Diego at Cincinnati, a -9. And the Ice Bowl, Dallas and Green Bay, 13 below. Here in Foxborough, it's 3, and the wind chill is 12 below.
Is that all? Come on, we were expecting 20 below.
I think they said that just to try to get me to climb back on the plane.
Yeah, that was CBS saying that.
from the 13-yard line. Chris Brown in the backfield. Look at the time of possession. Tennessee has dominated this second quarter. McNair going to throw it. Running out of time. Pulled it down and escapes. On the move. Cut inside and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Mike Vrabel came up to make the hit.
Yeah, Richard Seymour has him in the backfield. And Steve McNair, this is not no ordinary quarterback. When you meet him in person, you go, my God, how big are you? And gets around him, you can't pull him down. But Mike Vrabel, a tremendous athlete in the open field, comes up and brings him down. Another tremendous free agent pickup by the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel.
McNair needs the 5-yard line for a first down. 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, here comes the blitz. The pass outside, incomplete. Justin McCarron's the intended receiver, and Mike Vrabel was in on McNair.
It was a blitz by the Patriots. The Tennessee Titans did a terrific job of picking it up, but Steve McNair knows it's a blitz, so he just gets a little anxious. Chris Brown gets Rodney Harrison, and he throws the football just before the wide receiver is ready to catch it because he was open for the first down.
Gary Anderson, #1 all-time in field goals kicked and points scored. 31 yards out. Hot snap, it gets down, it's blocked. And a penalty marker is down. And the ball is down at the 22-yard line. Let's check the flag. Bill Carollo going to sort all of this out. But everyone is pretty certain that things are going to stay as is. It is going to be against Tennessee.
Well, I was watching the field goal, Greg. It looked like the snap was high, and the timing was just not as good as it should be. Hendrick goes up and gets it. Richard Seymour just comes rumbling through there.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 71, a blow to the face during the kick. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, New England's ball, first down.
So Fred Miller guilty of the personal foul. New England has the ball at their own 22-yard line with a minute to play in the first half. Steve McNair's scoring it. Brady going to go from the shotgun. Pump fake, now throws over the middle. Troy Brown, his first catch of the night, and down at about the 28-yard line. Clock continues to move. And now we get a timeout. So New England uses its second timeout.
Throw it to him, and when you see all the different receivers they throw the football to, it's one of the reasons why the Patriots don't get a lot of respect. They do not have that superstar on offense. So Tom Brady throws the ball, and you all, well, they don't have anybody special. No, they might not, but they have a lot of good players in this football team. And you put all those good players together, you get a 14-2 record.
Brady.
Oh, great job.
And now throws over the middle. It's incomplete. Off the fingertips of David Gibbons.
I mean, you talk about, we said Tom Brady said about the offense, it's Brady friendly, but here's what he does. Nope, I don't like it. Just shuffle, beautiful footwork. The football does get away from him just a little bit, but the plays he's able to run, the coaching he is getting, and taking his talent, that's why you see him being such a productive winning quarterback. It's everything brought into one, and just that foot movement in the pocket, another reason why he's good.
We get a little jump at the offensive line. Peter Sermon lifting Kevin Falk off the ground. Against Tennessee.
That's a big penalty. Big penalty against Tennessee. 3rd and 4. You got 3 timeouts. You can make them punt into the wind.
Unabated to the quarterback. Left end. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The penalty was on Javon Curse.
I couldn't tell if Tom Brady, he did make a little sharp count. Maybe that was enough to get Tennessee to jump off sides, and it's a big first down for the New England Patriots.
New England with 1 timeout remaining. Brady pulls it down and now throws over the middle, and that's complete. Falk across the 40 to the 42-yard line. 30 seconds to play. Brady doesn't want to use the last timeout here, so he'll spike the ball and stop the clock with 23 seconds to play. It'll be a 3rd and 3.
Pretty good job by Tom Brady saving that last timeout. 23 seconds. Can they get one big play to get a chance to kick a field goal? Look where you think, or we think, Adam Vinatieri must get before he kicks a long field goal.
48 yards, his long for the season so far. This is a 3rd and 3. Quick drop, quick pass, and that's incomplete, intended for Daniel Graham.
You know, Greg, I talked about that offsides. It might have taken away an opportunity for Tennessee to at least get down and try a long field goal. We didn't even talk about where the decision Jeff Fisher made. He punted. It went to about the 18-yard line. He got the ball back in very good field position. They go down again to try to get some points, and they get the field goal block. So some missed opportunities in this first half by the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans reached the red zone twice and came away empty without any points at all. Another short kick. And the catch by Derek Mason is made at the 34-yard line. So 13 seconds to play here in the first half.
Well, if you're on offense, very instinctive player and very talented.
Well, Teddy Bruschi and the rest of the defense will watch Steve McNair take a knee here and wind the final 13 seconds off the clock. And the Titans will go to the locker room down by a touchdown. Tom Brady with a touchdown pass, a rushing touchdown from Antoine Smith, and the New England Patriots lead it by a score of 14-7. We go down to Armin.
Jeff, given the couple of big missed opportunities for points here in the first half.
Yeah, but we're moving the football. You know, we got down here, we're moving the football. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. You know, defense got to settle down. We're not getting them to third down, not get them off the field, but we're okay.
Please,
so we're going to go warm up, come back and have a great second half.
All right, Coach. Greg.
Armin, thank you. That is the end of our first half. And here's our score. The Patriots 14, the Titans 7. Greg Gumbel, Phil Simms. Has this cold weather affected play as much as you thought it would in the first half?
Well, Greg, I think that we said a couple things. Both teams are going to spread it out. They were going to throw it. Pass protection was the utmost important, and it's been terrific for both football teams. The cold weather hasn't bothered the throwers on either side, and I'm impressed the way they've executed the first half.
Well, Tom Brady threw for 152 yards in the first quarter, but only 14 in the second quarter. It's a one touchdown difference as you take a look at the first half numbers. First quarter yards, second quarter yards. The Tennessee Titans came back, and the only turnover has been a Steve McNair pass that was intercepted by Rodney Harrison.
Well, Tom Brady had a harder time in the second quarter because Steve McNair always had the football. But I think that when we talked about to start the show, and even the coaches talked about it to us the last couple of days, they knew they were going to have to throw the football well to win. Both sides did. The conditions, unless they're severe, they're going to stay with their game plans.
Now, there was some conversation, and you said it made sense that players might have to change uniforms at halftime simply because of the elements out here.
Yeah, because believe it or not, they will sweat underneath those shoulder pads and those pads, and you don't want to come out here and stand around and get cold because of that sweat. You get all dry clothes on, a new uniform, come out and start over again.
Patriots will get the football first as you look at Brady's numbers from the first half. Hendrick will kick it away. It is safe to say it has not warmed up.
Yeah, you know it's cold when your spotter's wearing gloves. Mike's sticking a finger down there. Mike Lucken is hitting about 4 players.
Hendrick to kick it away. Bethel Johnson, along with Kevin Falk, are deep for New England. From the 14-yard line, it's Johnson. Going to try to break it to the outside, and he is corralled at about the 20-yard line by Tony Beckham. And let's go down to Armin.
Greg, with the Patriots' permission, I was able to listen into their locker room. Very interesting. Offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss, sounding very commanding, said this drive right now is the most important drive of the season for the Patriots, to turn a one-score game into a two-score game. And Bill Belichick, sounding very strong, said the more this game goes down to the wire, the more Steve McNair is going to want to put it into his hands, and we cannot let him out of the pocket. And he said the other thing we got to watch for is that Mason guy. That means wide receiver Derek Mason, Greg.
Charlie Weiss, the terrific offensive mind of these New England Patriots, and has been mentioned as a possible head coaching candidate. Out to the 33-yard line or so is Antoine Smith as we look at the offensive leaders from the first half. And Brady's numbers were 12 of 23 for 166 total. Antoine Smith rushed for 32 yards and a touchdown. And the best receiver on the field was Bethel Johnson in a New England uniform with 2 catches for 55 yards and a score.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, you get conditions like this in the National Football League, and both teams would just run the ball, and wait for the other team to make a mistake. In this modern age, the skilled players are better. They demand more of them. They execute under tough conditions.
Smith breaks around the left side across the 40 to the 43-yard line, and that'll be a New England first down. Brad Castle making the stop after a 10-yard pickup.
Well, that's a good job by the offensive line by the New England Patriots. Damian Woody pulling around. Larry Centers, the fullback, gets a very good block on Brad Castle, knocks him down. Antoine Smith gets extra yards after the block. Boy, Larry Centers known for his pass catching ability, but comes in and gets a terrific block on that last run.
Well, Tom Brady told us that they were going to have to make Tennessee honor the run. They've come out running it here, and now the quick pitch to the outside to Deion Branch, which the New England Patriots view as very much a run in itself.
Well, that's what it is. I think the New England Patriots are going to do a lot more quick throws. Get the football in Brady's hands, 3-step drops, and those quick screens to the outside like you saw that time. But as we saw last week, the corners for the Tennessee Titans, they had very good week tackling last week, and they've tackled well so far in this game.
2nd and 8. Another quick pitch to the side, and Antoine Smith hit almost immediately by Samari Rolle.
Well, it's a good thought, but it's not working that well. You look where Tom Brady has thrown the football, a lot of underneath throws, a couple down the field, got some big yards, but that time they had 2 running backs in the game, 2 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. Tennessee brought in extra linebackers thinking it's going to be a run. They split it out. Tennessee ready for it. No yards on the quick throw. Very good defensive scheme and reaction by the Titans defense.
3rd and 7. Given goes in motion. Brady steps up, throws, tipped, incomplete.
Well, sometimes in this league, it's hard to go in notion. Is that what you said? Did you say he went in notion? Because you know I live for moments like this when you say something improper. But Tom Brady throws the football so hard that Kevin Falk cannot come up with the catch.
Jeff Fisher cheering his defense on. That may have been 3 or 4 icicles ago, and I don't recall. Ken Walter is not going to point to his punting numbers with pride in this game. That may be his best one all night. But then it bounces back toward the Patriots, and it'll be down at about the 30-yard line. McNair from the 30-yard line. McNair and the Tennessee offense. Eddie George for a couple.
Teddy Bruschi on the tackle again. This guy, I don't know what to say. He's not going to the Pro Bowl. He deserves it. He's absolutely one of the top 2 middle linebackers in the AFC this year. But he can just diagnose plays. Preparation, when you prepare as hard as he does, when he sees an opportunity, he's able to take advantage of it.
Teddy Bruschi, the leading tackler for the New England Patriots on the season. A couple of interceptions, return for a touchdown. 2nd and 9. And finds running room off right tackle. Out close to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short.
I tell you what, I have watched all night. I'm waiting to see if anybody can make Eddie George fall straight down instead of always forward. Good blocking up front. Benji Olsen, 75, gets a tremendous block, and somebody gets out on Teddy Bruschi. That's Fred Miller, just gets his hands on him enough to let Eddie George get up there and get close to a first down.
Now the Patriot fans come to their feet. 3rd and very short yardage.
Quarterback sneak. Well, maybe not. Ted Washington's in front of you.
Penalty markers fly. This play won't count, and it'll be against the Titans.
Boy, sorry to interrupt you, but Steve McNair went on too long of a count.
Prior to the snap, false start, 69, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Zach Pillar.
Instead of 3rd and 1, it's now 3rd and 6.
Yeah, when you get in situations like that, everybody knows what you got to do. You've got to snap the football quickly so the offensive linemen don't do what they did and try to catch the defense before they can dig in.
So now instead of a short pop for a first down, they need 6 yards, and McNair out of the shotgun spreads the field. On the blitz, he throws downfield, coming back, and he's got the ball. Catch catch is made by Tyrone Calico, the rookie out of Middle Tennessee State, and it's a first down.
This is all Bill Belichick talked about. They worried about this. Steve McNair just throwing it down the field, and the big receivers for Tennessee. The blitz by the New England Patriots. They get in there. Rodney Harrison free, gets a hit on Steve McNair, but he knows what he has down the field. A big wide receiver, throw it up. Tyrone Poole cannot react before the receiver does. You get a big first down.
30-yard pickup, first down. George waits for his blocks. And inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Well, a couple things. That was, you said it right. He waited for his blocks. An experienced runner, he took it outside when I went, oh, he should have taken it inside and got 2 or 3 yards. But watch what he does. He gets out there. Aaron Kinney gets a good job. Zach Pillar around to the outside. Gets out there and gets 9 yards.
Fifth play of this drive for Tennessee. McNair pulls it down. Now over the middle, and that's complete to Eddie George. Steve McNair told us that he had the best day of practice this week that he's had in 3 weeks.
Yeah, he has, and you can see it when you watch him here tonight. He missed his first pass, but after that, he's been on target. He's gotten good protection. And what really impresses me the most, and Deion Sanders was talking about it at halftime, this receiving core is really well-rounded. They got speed, quickness. They got a couple guys with really good size, so it blends together and makes a terrific group.
First down at the New England 25. Look at the frustration in Steve McNair with that flag.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's why Steve McNair was frustrated, and it was close, but anytime there's a delay of game, it is the quarterback's fault. Call the play, do all that stuff, but you always have to keep an eye on the play clock.
Mistakes beginning to pile up a little bit for Tennessee. 2 false starts, 3 delay of game calls.
6 penalties, all of them 5-yarders, but you said it right, Greg. There's some big 5-yard penalties in there.
First and 15. Chris Brown shakes a tackle. Oh, and upended short of the 25-yard line by Rodney Harrison.
Well, what do you say about Rodney Harrison? Chris Brown, fresh, hasn't run the football a great amount this year. Little trip by Richard Seymour. Watch what Teddy Bruschi does. Benji Olsen on the block. Oh, man, no matter how quick you are, when 320 pounds hits you, you go down.
On 2nd and 11. McNair with time over the middle and locks in to Aaron Kinney, number 88.
You said it right when he locked in, but such confidence in controlling the football. When the quarterback really has good control of the football, he takes what we perceive as chances and throwing it in tight situations. Steve McNair knew he could stick it right to the belly of Aaron Kinney, and even though there's 2 defenders there, he got it in.
You saw the turnaround in fortune as far as total yards go. 3rd and 6. McNair throws, and that's complete. Inside the 15 to the 11 is Justin McCarron's, and it's a first down.
Well, that's just too tough. You got McCarron's against Roman Pfeiffer. That is a talented wide receiver. And Steve McNair, he knows all the way. I got a linebacker covering my wide receiver, and Justin McCarron's, look at it. Nice fake inside. Roman Pfeiffer looks. He stops, breaks out. Wide open, good throw.
George and Kinney in the backfield. From the 11, Eddie George to about the 5.
Greg, as you watch this game, you watch this drive, a lot of people around the country, they haven't seen the Tennessee Titans a lot. The best way to describe them is they're like their coach. They're just tough. The quarterback is tough, and I'm saying it in respect because it's said too often about a lot of players. The running back is tough, so it just permeates through the hell. The general manager, he's tough. So everybody, they got a way about them, and they come out and play no matter what the situations are.
Just outside the 6-yard line, 2nd and 5. We get another marker, and this is picked off, but this won't count. Teddy Bruschi made the interception, but we had a illegal motion, a false start, that shut that play down.
Prior to the snap, false start, 71, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
You know, the official had a little trouble getting that flag out of his pocket.
Well, it was a good penalty that time. I don't know if Steve McNair would have thrown that pass. I think he knew there was a false start. But it takes away Teddy Bruschi's interception.
So it backs them up to about the 12-yard line now. It's 2nd and 10. Looking on from behind McNair and Eddie George. George gets the handoff to about the 10. Mike Vrabel there to meet him.
You know, that play, Greg, just illustrates what you said early in the game. They're going to be patient. Just keep doing what we do, trying to sneak a running play in there in an obvious passing situation, and just don't get, like you said, don't get impatient. Don't throw it every single down where the blitzing and all the different looks by the Patriots might catch you off guard and create a turnover.
4 wide receivers now on 3rd and 10. McNair throws, and that's complete. Inside the 5, Derek Mason looking for the end zone. No touchdown signal as yet. It is now a touchdown.
I never saw the signal. I'm looking down in the field. I thought maybe Derek Mason stepped out of bounds, but it's the blitz. Terrific pickup by the Tennessee Titans. Derek Mason absolutely goes over the pylon. It's a touchdown. There's the same move again. Fake inside. Asante Samuels cannot make the tackle.
And he goes up and over Tyrone Poole. But you're right, Phil. I still haven't seen an upraised arm for a touchdown.
That is about the 5th time they've thrown an exact same route to about 4 different receivers.
Gary Anderson's extra point is up and through. And with 4:14 to play in the 3rd quarter, the Tennessee Titans pull even or tied at 14. Well, we're going to do a mea culpa here because the side judge, John Perry, is standing over there, and he did indicate.
Oops. Here he comes. Watching.
Touchdown.
Like I said, he signaled touchdown, Greg.
I couldn't see him through the sheet of ice.
Really terrific game planning by the Tennessee Titans.
Hendricks kick. From the 19-yard line, it's Patrick Pass. Pass coming this way. 30. 35. And knocked out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. 18-yard return. Steve McNair, touchdown pass. Finds him and Brady and the Patriots. Brady pulls it down, throws this way, and throws it out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 10. Back to the touchdown.
Yeah, let's go back and look at it. I've shown you this route a few times, and you want to know why it's working. The Patriots are faking a blitz. They back out, but when they think that the offense knows they're going to blitz, they're going to throw those quick look-in passes. Well, they're faking the look-in passes and then breaking back outside, and that's why they're open. And Jeff Fisher was right. He says, our game plan, we've got it nailed. It's looked really good the whole game so far.
Well, Tennessee really taking care of the football, too. Straight ahead. Brady gives to David Givens. out to the 43-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Greg, you're talking about taking care of the football. We were up here in the snowball game 2 years ago, and there were no turnovers. You got playoff teams. They both have a hardened group of veterans on each side. The quarterbacks execute game plans very well. They just know how to do it without making a lot of mistakes.
Brady now looking at a 3rd and 4. And instead, it's a direct snap to number 33, Kevin Falk. Falk, first down, yardage around the right side, across midfield into the 49 of the Tennessee Titans.
Well, I tell you, just keep giving them different looks, and that's what you do. When you can't overpower your opponent, if you can't outrun him, you got to disguise and get him off balance to give your players a little bit of a chance to make it work. And Tom Brady, hey, when your career's over, Hollywood is not calling. It is not calling, but pretty good fake by him. Have a little fun when you can.
This is Antoine Smith to about the 46. And we are under 3 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Hey, big first down there by the Patriots. Gets them some momentum back on their side. Slow down Tennessee. Just change the game around. We talked about Jeff Fisher. We got to answer. Well, Bill Belichick's over there. Hey, guys, come on. Let's answer. Let's answer against the Tennessee Titans. Make them keep fighting from behind.
Yeah, we get a timeout as number 65, Damian Woody, is slow. Or we didn't get a timeout. We actually had a stoppage of the clock, and now we're setting the play clock again.
Well, see, you were hoping it's a timeout so you could run back there and get in front of that heater again. But I turned it off.
Falcon centers now go out as wide receivers.
Running formation, they split the 5 wide receiver look.
Quick pass out to the side. And it gets almost nothing to Daniel Graham, and there's a loose ball. Tennessee says it has it. And they do. Daniel Graham with the catch, fumbled it. Carlos Hall came up with the football.
What you do to short passes, the defense, when it's a short pass, everybody converges to the football. And when you get a lot of defensive players converging, somebody hits the ball, it comes loose. Recovery by the Tennessee Titans.
Monday on an all-new Late Show, Dave welcomes Everybody Loves Raymond star Patricia a bruised leg on that touchdown he scored. He will probably return to the lineup, but now Tyrone Calico has replaced him for the moment, the rookie wide receiver. McNair spreads the field. Quick pass. Oh, it's going to go nowhere. Frank Wycheck all the way back to the 37-yard line.
And Frank Wycheck was going to throw a pass, but Willie McGinnis, an outside linebacker who can also play defensive end, diagnoses it real quick. It's a backward pass by Steve McNair. Willie McGinnis goes flying out there. Fred Miller had no chance to block him. Oh, he just saw it all the way. Good reaction, good athletic ability, and it really puts the Titans in a hole.
Loss of 10 on the play. It's now 2nd and 20. And they'll give it to Chris Brown trying the left side, and that doesn't get much.
What a turn of events. You know, I always laugh because so many things one team tells us, the other team says the exact same thing to us and counters it. And Bill Belichick says, look, Jeff Fisher, this and that, and I know somewhere in the game he's going to take a chance to try to make something happen for his football team. There was a chance they were trying, and the Patriots were ready for it.
Derek Mason is back on the field on 3rd and 19. McNair throws and underthrows his receiver on the far side of the field. That's Mason. And that'll bring Craig Hentrick, the punter, on.
What a series by the Patriots defense. If you want to be an outstanding team in the National Football League, if you want to have success in the playoffs, your defense is going to have to bail you out. And right there, that series the New England Patriots defense came up big.
Winner here tonight plays in the AFC Championship game next Sunday. We have a ways to go. Troy Brown is deep. Oh, nice kick by Hendrick.
Beautiful.
Brown going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a Titan roll to the 5-yard line. Craig Hendrick, a 56-yard punt at just the right time as far as Titans fans are concerned. Bishop Donovan McNabb and the Eagle. That's tomorrow as you see Antoine Smith bowling his way across the 20-yard line to about the 22 or the 23, a 17-yard pickup. And that is likely the final play of this third quarter. Antoine Smith limping off the field on the far side. And appears to be in a little pain. He'll have some time to work on it. That's the end of our third quarter. There's our score. The Titans 4. Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. Greg Gumbel back at Gillette Stadium. Antoine Smith injuring his left ankle on this carry and limped to the sideline where he is trying to work it out. And what a huge carry that was as far as field position goes.
Oh man, it was really important. Gets them out from their own goal line. Gets them out to a part of the field where they now can open up and call any play in their playbook.
Line of scrimmage now, the 22. Kevin Falk is in the backfield with Brady. This is Brown in motion. Brady throws this side, overthrows, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Boy, Tennessee, after that initial first series or two where they had trouble covering the New England wide receivers in certain situations, have made tremendous adjustments. And the biggest one is they're just sitting back more and they're watching the quarterback. And when Tom Brady looks at a receiver, they converge to him.
Brady over the middle. That's complete to Falk. At about the 27-yard line, Keith Bullock coming up from behind to make the tackle.
Yeah, and you know, the New England not afraid to take a chance. Going with the 4 wide receiver look, kind of a hurry-up offense, trying to change the tempo. Their offense is not clicking the way they want. Tennessee's kind of got their number, so if you don't like the way it's going, change it.
I'll move, relax.
Now on 3rd and 4, quick pass to the outside, and that is complete and out of bounds, and enough that appears for a first down. Let's see where the ball is spotted. David Givens with the catch. It is enough to move the chains.
Right in front of Andre Dyson, and he kind of clapped his hands like, dang, thought maybe I could get there and get it. But Tom Brady has a sneaky strong arm, and he is a terrific short ball thrower to the sidelines.
So now the Patriots moving out to their own 33, and once again Brady from the shotgun with time throws it way beyond everybody on the far side of the field. Deion Branch.
Yeah, I hope it's, well, what's it say, Greg? It's really cold. I don't think it's that cold.
I'm afraid to read it.
But really, it's been it's not bad. I know it's cold, but the wind is not near what they thought it was going to be, so it's made it good for the fans, and it's really made it good for the football players.
Hey, I want to tip our hat to our crew out here in these elements and doing their usual terrific job. They have our respect and admiration. 2nd and 10. Brady throwing far side, complete and hit right away by Samari Rolle as David Givens.
You know, the New England Patriots throw so many passes to the outside, just like the one we saw to David Givens. As we were talking over the last few days, I said one of these corners has got to take a chance and know they're going to try this and get up there and make a break and try to intercept it. That time, Samari Rolle was close.
Another big 3rd down play. Crossing over the middle. Deion Branch has the first down at the 45-yard line.
Tom Brady hanging in there. What they hope to do is what's going on. Change the tempo of the game. Another short throw over the middle. Very accurate. Tough catch.
Phil, you mentioned the Snow Bowl earlier. We were here for that against the Raiders. You remember things weren't happening very well for New England offensively. They came out in the second half and threw the ball all over the field despite the conditions. This running play by Kevin Falk takes it up near midfield.
And this is a little different, Greg, than sometimes when New England does try to hurry up. They go 5 wide receivers. Of course, when you do that, you know you have to throw it because Tom Brady is no running threat. But this game, they're making Tennessee think. They're keeping a back in the backfield so it could be run or pass.
On 2nd and 5, Brady drifting this way and is going to run it across midfield, out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and enough for a first down.
Well, we talk about Tom Brady. He's no threat to run, and he comes up with another big run and gets a first down. It was a screen pass to the middle. Watch Kevin Falk. Robert Smith sees it, knocks him down. Tom Brady has nothing. He knows it, so he runs for the first down.
Tom Brady, the non-runner, has rushed twice for first downs tonight.
And, you know, he looks terrific doing it. But, you know, we laugh, but how big have both of his runs? The first one led to a touchdown. That was a big run for a first down.
He pump fakes and now throws and overthrows a wide open Deion Branch. And we have a Titan down in midfield at about the 35-yard line. That's Ryan Long, the rookie out of Washington. His pain, but was able to walk off the field under his own power, and that's a good sign. 2nd and 10, New England at the Titans 45.
Remember where this drive started from.
Started at their own 5-yard line. Brady calling signal. Fakes the quick pass and gives it up the middle to Kevin Falk, and Falk to about the 40.
You know, still going with the hurry up offense as you watch the New England Patriots. Tom Brady looking to the sideline, trying to get the play from Charlie Weiss and relay it to the players. And one of the reasons why they continue to do this, so the Tennessee Titans won't substitute players. Keep the same 11 guys on the field.
This is a 3rd and 5. Brady pulls it down, is going to take off and run, and slides down at the 39-yard line, and that will be short of a first down. Albert Haynesworth, the big defensive tackle in his 2nd season.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you talk about the Tennessee Titans, they are very good on the defensive line. Albert Haynesworth, like you said, 2nd year, he's big and extremely athletic.
4th and 4, and Ken Walter in to kick. Derek Mason is deep for Tennessee. End over end. They're going to let it bounce, and it takes a Tennessee bounce from about the 5 to about the 8. All in all, the Patriots will take it. 10:28 to play. 4th quarter. We'll be back.
Remember that first fall?
Today on CBS, Detective Lily Rush takes on a bizarre murder that's full of twists and turns. See why Cold Case is TV's most watched new drama. Don't miss an all-new episode Sunday at 8/7 Central on CBS. McNair from his own 7-yard line. Eddie George. And George continues on his feet. Jeff Fisher was talking about what would be important from Eddie George would be the violent yards, and that's the yards after contact.
Yeah, that's a good description of it. Violent yards. Mike Vrabel, so strong on the outside, stops it from being a long gain. But this, for the New England defense, this could be the football game. Stop them on 3 and out, and you give the football back to your offense almost in scoring range before they even run a play.
George again. To about the 12 or 13-yard line.
And boy, you said it right, Greg. It's violent yards. It's tough. Ted Washington, 92, in the middle of your screen, just holds his guy up, gets off the block of Justin Hartwig, and gets around the legs of Eddie George. 6'5", 375 pounds, and still able to move around like that.
Chris Brown into the backfield, 3rd and 5. And he's going to give it to Brown. And Brown across the 15 and out to about the 18-yard line, and appears to be enough for a first down.
Chris Brown, the first down maker. Oh, it doesn't rhyme. I was trying to make a little rhythm there, you know, but it didn't work.
Robert Frost is rolling in his grave.
But what 3 calls by Mike Heimerdinger and this Tennessee offense to execute it and get a very big first down.
And we need to reset the play clock here. That's what Bill Carollo points out.
But 2 tough runs by Eddie George, and then the draw play to Chris Brown, and he is just strong enough to get 1 extra yard to get the first down.
George and Holcomb in the backfield. New England crowd making some noise as we come up on 8 minutes to play. George gets the call and makes the 20-yard line and no more.
Well, they're showing that patience, Greg, that you talked about, that you said, Jeff Fisher, that's what they want to do. And it takes a lot of courage, I think. When you're backed up like that, it's 3rd down. You know you need a first down in the worst way, but you stick with the game plan. You know that draw play is something you think will work, and you run it, and it works for you. And your convictions, they come true.
Armin Katayan told us earlier, Eddie George playing with that left shoulder in a harness. Dislocated a week ago. McNair stepping up and falls. Back at the 17-yard line, Willie McGinnis gets credit for the stop, a loss of 3, and it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, there is nobody open down the field. Steve McNair securing the football. Willie McGinnis, is he in pass coverage? Nice job of getting around Fred Miller, and Steve McNair just trips over his own guy. But Willie McGinnis hustling gets the sack.
Titans with wide receivers all over the place, and this play clock winding down. McNair is going to have to use a timeout. Titans use their first timeout here in the second half to stop the clock with 6:53 to play in the 4th. We'll be back.
Oh, Staples. That was easy.
The difference in carbs between Miller Lite and Coors Light is as little as 1.8 grams. The difference in taste is as big as the Rockies. Drink Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light.
When a former George W. Bush insider says, at cabinet meetings, the president acted like a blind man talking to the deaf, that's a story for 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Thursday, a victim is a dead ringer for one of CSI's own in a case that will haunt Gil Grissom.
Don't tell me you never went home.
A powerful new CSI Thursday.
The D is backwards, but we get the idea. 3rd and 11. And a big moment in this ball game. McNair still with the ball, throws, incomplete, intended for Calico.
Steve McNair on the play action fake, and the New England Patriots had a corner blitz on, and he goes right into it, and it doesn't give him time. Tyrone Poole coming on the blitz, sees Steve McNair. He doesn't have time to wait for the receiver down the field. Throws before he's ready, and it's off target.
Craig Hendricks' last punt was good for 56 yards. Let's see what he gets off here. Troy Brown at midfield. Inside the 40. Great field position for the New England offense. A 32-yard punt, a 10-yard return. And Tom Brady will start from inside the Tennessee 40-yard line. 6:40 to play. Fourth quarter. Tie game.
It's true that you can be anything you want, but it is far easier when your ambition is complemented by the ambition of others.
Let's face it, if you're still getting up to change the channel, it's time to update.
Walmart has everything that you need. They've got all kinds of electronics, no diggity.
The home entertainment department in Walmart is huge.
Sony, Panasonic, RCA, Philips, low prices, that's why we come here. And when you see the little bouncy ball, they're rolling back prices here. Yeah, you can come over to my house and watch movies, but I'm heading to Brooks.
My system is the bomb. If I just find him in my house, and I might ask a few questions. What movie is this?
What are you doing in my house?
Shop at Walmart.com, too. Instead of keeping up with the Joneses, people are trying to keep up with you.
This is game time, my team is all hype. Offense is fast, defense is tight. The other team was nice but has no height. I throw my skates on and we could go all night. Score the game point, I'm the #1 ace. Drop my game face, meet up at our favorite place. I get that quarter pounder with cheeseburger for real. The double fills a baller up after showing my skills. The beef, the cheese, the pickles, the bun. After that, I think it's time for another run. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM, official information technology partner of the NFL, and by Michelob Ultra. Lose the carbs, not the taste.
Well, while we have a moment, the executive producer of CBS Sports, Tony Petitti, lost his dad, John, earlier this week, passed away, and all of us here at CBS Sports extend our sincere best wishes to Tony and his family, and we want him to know that we are thinking of them in this time. 6:40 to play. Antoine Smith is back on the field for New England, and he gets the handoff, and he finds a little running room to the 35-yard line. First time all night a team starts in their opponent's half of the field.
Well, Greg, all night we've been talking about the Tennessee Titans having patience. I thought for sure New England would come out and run a play action pass and try to get it deep down the field and maybe get some quick points, but nope. They're going to continue to do what they're doing. Play the percentages, fake pass, run it up in there and get 5 yards.
There you see, as Kevin Falk comes onto the field, and Falk gets the handoff. Cut down at the 33. Bullock and Sermon with the tackle.
You know, of course, this is hard to do, too, for New England to keep running the football. Watch Keith Bullock, number 53. You're only going against the best run defense in the National Football League, and Keith Bullock from the backside sees the play, very athletic, gets around blockers and makes tackles.
Back in October, the victory by New England over Tennessee began the 12-game winning streak for the Patriots. They're trying to make it 13 straight. 3rd and 3, Brady to throw. Throwing down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Larry centers out of the backfield, covered by Bullock. And we are looking at a 51-yard field goal from here, should Belichick decide to go that route.
I think it's an interesting decision. What do you do? Do you go for it on 4th down, or do you punt it? It looks like he's going to go for it. There are a lot of different scenarios here. Could they try to fake them, draw them off sides? Probably not with Tom Brady in the shotgun.
There's all kinds of confusion on the Tennessee defense.
If you're confused, call a timeout. It looks like they finally got lined up.
4th and 3. Brady looks to this side, throws, has his man, complete inside the 30-yard line. Troy Brown, 1st down.
Well, when we talked to Troy Brown on Thursday, he came back from injury, and he says, I've come back, and what I do is I take pressure off the other receivers on third down. On third down in tough situations, Tom Brady is going to try to find Troy Brown one-on-one in the slot. Just breaks out real quick. He's against Lance Schulters. Again, that's tough for a safety.
This is Kevin Falk, and Falk to about the 28 or the 27-yard line. Falk continues to move as we come up on 4:45 to play.
Oh, that was some big first down. Now you're the Patriots. You control the clock, the situations. You can force it in, or do you just try to get another first down and get in position for a field goal?
Adam Vinatieri trying to stay loose. Second and 8. And we get a timeout.
Titans confused again.
The Titans use their second timeout here in the second half. 4:21 to play, fourth quarter.
Searching other websites for low fares? Better get comfortable. Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by January 19th.
You are now free to move about the country.
I would have gone vanilla with that sweater.
Ice cream, $3.
I think I would have parked a little closer.
Gas, $22.
Whoa. I think...
Haircut, $30.
What? I would have looked out for the water main. But that's just me.
Monday morning quarterbacks, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I would have double-bagged it.
I said, Joe, think of the family. It's comfortable. It's not too big, not too small.
Adam Vinatieri trying to stay loose, trying to stay warm, much like the rest of us.
Look at that, 14 and 19 on game, winning, or tying field goals. That's pretty good, because I'm sure a lot of those field goals have been of the long kind.
It'd be about a 45-yard field goal attempt from here. Brady to throw. Gets time over the middle. Little behind his intended receiver, Graham.
That's a perfect throw by Tom Brady. Daniel Graham is running across the field, and Tom Brady on purpose throws it to his back shoulder, because if he leads him, Lance Schulters is going to cut in front and go for the interception. So the quarterback had a good view. He saw what was going to happen, tried to pull the tight end up, but Daniel Graham not quite able to do it.
Brady's numbers on third down. This is 3rd and 8.
Big third down.
Down the middle, wide open, and a diving catch, and he dropped the ball. Daniel Graham made the dive, looked like he had it, and dropped it.
And the only reason this ball is incomplete, Tom Brady is under pressure. Look at him. Kevin Carter beat his blocker, gets inside, and Daniel Graham not able to come up with the catch. Comes down the field. It's a zone defense. Nobody covering him. He's in the open spot. Tom Brady tries to hit him. Tough catch for Daniel Graham.
Vinatieri from 46 yards out. This is for the New England lead on its way. And good. He curled it just inside the left upright and just over the crossbar.
Greg, you said it right. This is about as far as it could go. It looked like he got a little bit of the turf. The ball never really got up in the air. Just goes inside and really only makes it by a couple yards in length. And he knows it's close. Look at the body language.
I think Adam knew it was good before anyone else did.
Well, the kicker always knows. .406 on the clock. Now
perhaps the most important aspect of this game right now is not that Tennessee gets the football back, but they only have one timeout remaining.
Well, one timeout, plenty of time. Kevin Carter almost saved the moment for the Tennessee Titans by pressuring Tom Brady, but Adam Vinatieri comes through with the big kick.
That's Justin McCarron standing inside his own 5-yard line. Vinatieri, of course, the hero of Super Bowl 36.
I don't know if you and I have ever seen him miss a big kick.
This is McCarron from the 9. And wrestled down before he gets to the 25-yard line. Boy, you talk about big kicks from Adam Vinatieri in the postseason. Go back to the AFC Divisional playoff in 01 against Oakland. 45-yard field goal ties the game at 13. And then in overtime from 23 yards out, he gave the Patriots a 16-13 win. And we were talking about Super Bowl 36 against St. Louis. The 48-yarder as time ran out to give the Patriots a 20-17 win and the championship. And just moments ago, Vinatieri from 46 yards away. Ooh. That looks closer every time we see it.
Well, we keep showing different angles. He'll miss it here in a minute.
McNair from the shotgun at his own 24. All kinds of time. Throws it out here, and that's complete, and across the 30 to the 34 is Justin McCarron.
Boy, what does that say about Tennessee's offensive line? They are tremendous pass blockers. Obvious passing situation. Steve McNair must have held the football for 7 to 8 seconds at least. Finally, somebody gets open.
Line of scrimmage is the 35. It's a first down. You see the game-winning drives in Steve McNair's football history.
Well, he had one last week against the Baltimore Ravens.
Stepping up, looking downfield, and throws. Oh, what a catch. And that is ruled a completion at the 47-yard line. Drew Bennett in a crowd.
Well, we got to see this on replay for a couple reasons. One, the catch is phenomenal. The football gets away from Steve McNair. I don't know why he threw it. Drew Bennett, 1 foot down, gets the other foot down on the player. Terrific play by Drew Bennett.
And it looks like let's see. We're going to get a challenge from Bill Belichick. So Bill Carollo.
New England is challenged to the ruling on the field. There was a reception. We'll review the play.
Bill Carollo will move to the hooded monitor and check it out as we take one more look at it. McNair throwing. Count the New England defenders. 2 of them with another in the vicinity. And Drew Bennett, and I'm sure one of the questions is going to be whether or not he had possession as he fell out of bounds.
Can't tell from that angle if he did get his foot down from behind. This is going to be a better shot.
Boy, whether it's ruled a catch or not, what a phenomenal effort by Drew Bennett.
Could you tell, Greg, from that shot? I couldn't tell either.
So as coaches look on, Bill Carollo goes to the monitor. Let's take another look. McNair just throws it. And there is the grab.
And it, you know, Greg, it looks, you have to think maybe it hit the ground. We're going to have to see it. Watch the grass. The left foot. He has to get both feet down. Hit the defender. That's no good. That would be out of bounds. You know, too, don't forget, let's watch Drew Bennett. You know, there's so many things you get replays like this. See if he continues to have the football in his grasp. Does he control it? He's got it. It's moving a little, but he still is in control.
Question is, does he have control when it counts when his feet are coming down?
Yes, it looked to me he's got control. The football can move. People think it cannot move around. It can. As long as he's in control, it looks like he is.
And I thought if he has control, I thought his feet were down.
Boy, I tell you what, that was some terrific here. But let's look at it from behind. This is the best view, I think. Yes, that was a good shot. You could see his toe just touch the ground. I thought it looked like he was inbounds.
Here we go.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined the receiver possessed the ball and had both feet inbounds. The play stance is called a completion. New England is charged with the first timeout.
Phil, have you noticed we get these kinds of things when we visit Foxborough in January?
Well, you know what? That was the last shot that we saw from the truck. That was the best shot of all. You could finally really determine that Drew Bennett did get that other foot down. The toe just hit inside.
New England is charged with a timeout. They're down to 2.
And again, Greg, the football can move when a receiver is catching it as long as he has control.
McNair from the shotgun. Steps up again on the run. Midfield, 45. Bulls his way close to the 40-yard line and a first down.
Oh, man, Steve McNair, you must go low when you see him running like that. He is so big and so strong, but now New England anxious to get to the passer. And when you get too anxious, what do? You get out of your rush lanes. You allow the quarterback to step forward. If you make Steve McNair go side to side, he can't outrun you. But when he steps forward, that's when he can really be a factor.
.232 to play. McNair over the middle. This is Mason to the 33. Gary Anderson, remember, hit a 46-yard field goal to beat Baltimore, and McNair is limping.
Well, that could be, I don't know what. He probably got it on the run.
He will limp off to the side as the 2-minute warning approaches. 2 minutes to play in Foxborough. A trip to the AFC title game on the line. It's a 3-point game.
There's a feeling in my heart that I can't explain. Is this love? The look in your eyes I just can't explain. Is this love? If I lose myself out to blame. So tomorrow, will you feel the same? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love?
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there?
And that 46-yarder was last week against the Baltimore Ravens.
I think if it's over 40 yards, you'll see Craig Hentrick kick it. Because going this direction, it is into the wind. Even though it's not strong, it's about a 5 to 7 yard win, I think, for kickers.
Limp or no limp, McNair back on the field. Throws this side and nobody there. And McNair still limping, and there is a penalty marker.
This could be intentional grounding.
Well, here's Bill Carollo. It is intentional grounding. Not a Titan in the area.
Intentional grounding, number 9, offense, 10-yard penalty. That penalty also includes a loss of down, 3rd down.
Steve McNair is in the pocket. He's inside the tackle box, and look, when you look to the outside, nobody close to the football. No receiver within 20 yards, so that's an easy call for Bill Carolla.
The line of scrimmage. Look at McNair's numbers. We don't have a football down yet. Now we're trying to figure out exactly where the line of scrimmage is. Confusion caused, I'm sure, by the cold weather.
Well, I think the Patriots thought they got cheated in the yards, but they didn't. It was a 10-yard penalty.
Bobby Hamilton wants noise from the fan.
He's getting it.
Line of scrimmage is the 43. It's a 3rd and 13. Here they come. Quick pass. Penalty marker down. To the 32 or 31 yard line is Drew Bennett. And it's going to be a hold on Tennessee.
Tennessee had the perfect play on, but because of the blitz.
Holding, 75, offense. Takedown at the line of scrimmage, 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Right guard Benji Olsen.
Benji Olsen watching. He sees the blitz. Oh, boy. I don't know. I could not see the takedown. Watch the right guard. Well, he does grab him and pulls him down. Tough call, though, in that situation.
3rd and 23. Here they come again. McNair throws this side. It is caught by Bennett, and he is out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. That is about 11 or 12 yards short of a 1st down.
Well, what a throw by Steve McNair. Under pressure. Another sideline catch by a tall, talented receiver. Drew Bennett, good job of catching it. Good job of getting his feet down.
4th and 12. And the Tennessee Titans season on the line right here. Jeff Fisher wants that 3rd and final timeout right now.
Good call. Rethink it. Get ready in case they give you an all-out blitz. Have a play that allows you to give the quarterback a chance against the blitz. And if they don't, have a play that can get down the field to pick up the 1st down.
All-out blitz is what we've seen from the New England Patriots the last 5 or 6 consecutive plays. Is there any reason to stop doing that now?
Yeah, to be a little afraid of Steve McNair moving and throwing the football down the field.
Well, remember what Rodney Harrison told us. He said he's a very smart quarterback. He throws the ball down the field, and he doesn't care if his guy is covered. He just throws it up.
Well, he trusts his wide receivers. And
well, we are under the 2-minute warning, and we're told now that last catch by Drew Bennett is being reviewed by the officials upstairs.
Well, this timeout could end up hurting the Tennessee Titans. I thought it was close if Drew Bennett got his feet down. Let's watch it. He makes the catch. Did he catch the football? Did he have the catch? This is left foot. Down, down. It's good. Wow. Boy, good shot, I think, of showing that Drew Bennett had controlled the football and got both feet down.
That Drew Bennett has some future as a sideline dancer, doesn't he?
Well, Drew Bennett was at one time a quarterback at UCLA. I remember, Greg, years ago, we went down there in preseason, and they're telling me about him, going, yeah, we're going to make him a wide receiver. And I'm just thinking, it won't work. That's too tough of a transition. I think he played 1 year at wide receiver at UCLA, did pretty good, and has really kind of been a project. But he has come through for the Tennessee Titans.
I think both these teams have performed remarkably well under the circumstances. You were telling me in that frigid game at Soldier Field in Chicago, when the Giants played the Chicago Bears, you thought you were going to go out there and take on Mother Nature, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, I ran out there, no sleeves on, no gloves. And about 5 minutes later, I ran as fast as I ever have in my whole life to run in and get more clothes on and get some gloves to keep warm.
Here's Bill Carollo, who has made his decision.
After reviewing the play, the receiver possessed and caught the ball with both feet inbounds. The play stands as a catch. 4th down.
Boy, this has been an interesting drive with a couple of reviews and a couple of penalties. And we still come to 4th and 12.
Hey, Greg, when you talk about an all-out blitz, what that means is if there's 6 offensive players who can block defensive players, then the Patriots send one more than you have.
The Titans, 13-4 on the season. Does it come to a close here tonight? McNair needs the 30-yard line for a first down. Here they come. Harrison, he throws it up. Bennett coming back for it, had it, and dropped it. Drew Bennett had a legitimate shot at catching this pass under a lot of duress from defenders, couldn't come down with it.
I think first off, the blitz by the Patriots, they get Rodney Harrison free to the quarterback. Drew Bennett probably thought they were going to be there quicker than they were. He tried to snatch it out of the air, and it just goes off his hands. And good hustle by Asante Samuel to not allow Drew Bennett to get a second chance to catch the football.
Amazing, isn't it? The miraculous catches Drew Bennett has come up with tonight. And that one bounced off 2 hands and fell incomplete.
What a job by Steve McNair. Just, Greg, you said it before. He just heaved it up, gave his player a chance. Drew Bennett saw it before the defender did, stopped, came back, had the chance to make the catch, but didn't do it.
You know, what an opening day to this divisional playoff round. The double overtime game in St. Louis. These two teams within 3 points, under 2 minutes to play, and there are still 2 more games to be played tomorrow.
Well, I tell you one thing you got to say right away. The visiting team in both of the games today have been tremendous. Carolina winning, Tennessee coming here and playing so well for a team that's rested, and it's at 14-2 during the season.
Antoine Smith stacked up right across the 40-yard line, and now Tennessee will call its 3rd and final timeout. Last chance that the Titans have to stop the clock. Tomorrow here on CBS, it'll be Indianapolis against the Kansas City Chiefs. Peyton Manning, what an outstanding performance against the Denver Broncos last week against the Chiefs and Priest Holmes. Everyone expects this game to be something of a track meet.
Well, it could be high scoring. It looks like they're going to get pretty good weather, too. Look at these two guys. They're both had tremendous seasons throwing the football. When I think of this game, I think, can the Indianapolis Colts get the emotional feeling going that they had last week? And Greg, probably not, because the Kansas City Chiefs didn't beat them up 2 weeks ago like the Denver Broncos had done to them. But
and we know those Kansas City Chiefs, however bad they may look on the road, they are terrific in Arrowhead Stadium.
Offense and defense for the Kansas City Chiefs is better at home, of course, like you said, than it is on the road.
The other game on tap tomorrow, the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles.
And you know, one other thing about that Kansas City Chiefs game, everything that the Indianapolis Colts fans did to, that's a great shot of Steve McNair and Drew Bennett, they did to the Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning is going to experience all that noise himself tomorrow in Kansas City.
And Brady finally takes a knee.
Well, you know, they shouldn't be upset. the New England Patriots shouldn't be. Tom Brady stood behind there. This game is not over. He's trying to buy some extra time.
Meanwhile, the clock continues to move. A minute 15.
You know, if you're going to take a knee, you got to protect yourself too.
But you know, these teams, the thing that they most respect about each other is that they're both physically and mentally tough football teams.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch.
Rodney Harrison, for so many years a San Diego Charger, so excited about the prospects of this New England Patriots team and about being a member. Brady will take the snap. Titans cannot stop the clock. And again, some hard feelings. And look at Jeff Fisher pointing to the clock. Well, it's been a frustrating night for Jeff Fisher and the Tennessee Titans. But when all is said and done, they're going to come out on the short end of this divisional playoff game.
Well, there's a difference in the clocks, Craig, for about 3 seconds. So New England can let it run down, take a delay a game, and then try to run 3 seconds off the clock.
That's exactly what they'll do. A delay of game here. And 3 seconds remain on the game clock.
Well, I definitely would not punt the football. Bill Belichick is not going to punt the football. Do you take your quarterback, take the snap, run backwards, fall down? 3 seconds, I think you can handle it.
You certainly don't want to turn the ball over at this end of the field.
Or do you take it and do you hand it to a running back and to have him stand up and let everybody hit him, and by the time he hits the ground, the 3 seconds, of course, should be over.
Sure, you New York Giants are good at handing the ball off to a running back late in the game.
That's right. 1978.
Richard Seymour, the newly engaged Richard Seymour. I was talking to him. He and his fiancee Tanya are going to get married in May. Here it is. Brady going to drop back and throw it, and that's the perfect way to do it. Falls incomplete, and the game is over. The Tennessee Titans, a valiant effort on the road here in Foxborough, comes up short. The Patriots have won 13 straight for Phil Simms and Armin Gudzayan. Greg Gumbel saying so long from Gillette Stadium. Our final score, the Patriots 17, the Titans 14. Stay tuned. Jim Nantz and Company and the Subway post-game show comes your way next. Thanks for joining us, everyone. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.
Another edition of the NFL Today. Dan, Dion, and Boomer will join me, as well as our special guest, Shannon Sharp. That leads into Indianapolis against Kansas City, another round here of the AFC Divisional Playoff. So today we've seen New England put Tennessee in a deep freeze, and Carolina corral the Rams in a second overtime period. Very exciting day indeed. We'll see you tomorrow. Jim Nantz, good night from New York.
Out with touchdowns. That's not supposed to be the way it's supposed to happen in this game. First quarter, McNair throwing it up. Why not? It's an aerial day until Rodney Harrison brings things down to earth a little bit. Steve McNair had 3 interceptions in that victory over the Ravens. Throws a pick here, and on the Pats' ensuing drive, 3rd and 13. Check out Tom Brady on the reverse here for Johnson, who goes one way and comes back and gets the block from the QB.
It's a tremendous block. But you got this kid, Bethel Johnson, is going to be something special. The kid's got great speed and great vision.
But without this block, he wouldn't have picked up the first down.
Well, Brady's just earning his penny. He's earning a good day's pay. You know, a quarterback's supposed to participate in the running game.
And then the Super Bowl MVP from a couple of years ago in the second quarter, you know what? He's rolling out, can't find anybody, so he calls number 12. Gets the first down, head first. Rodney Harrison, that's the guy bundled up in there.
You know it's playoff time.
2 plays later, Antoine Smith. It's 14-7, Patriots. Second quarter, Titans driving. McNair, the co-MVP of the league, hits an open Derek Mason for a first down. And then on 3rd and 5, little handoff there to Brown, gets 13 yards, and that sets up a 31-yarder from the hero last week, Gary Anderson, but it's blocked. Richard Seymour, one of only 2 Pro Bowlers on this 14-2 team, right up the gut, and he blocks it.
That ball is just entirely too low for that distance of a kick. I mean, look at it. He gets in there, he blocks it. It's just too low for that type of kick. TD, there's a jailbreak going on up in there.
14-7 Patriots at the half, third quarter. The Patriots defense warming themselves up. But you know who really came out warm? Steve McNair, 3rd and 6. Going deep to Tyrone Calico. 30-yard gain. 6 plays later, a long Titan drive. McNair to Justin McCarrans for a gain of 10 yards. 4 plays later, McNair finds Derek Mason inside the red zone. Slips out of the tackle of Asante Samuel, and that's a rare poor tackle job right there by the Patriots defense.
Well, you know, the Patriots defense is one of the better tackling defenses in the league. But it's cold out there. I mean, you don't get some jerseys, if you don't get something to hold on to there, you're just not going to bring a guy down just by reaching for him.
Yeah, but I'm talking from a warm studio. It was 80 degrees here in LA. Fourth quarter, the thermometer. How cold was it? It's broken. Check it out. Oh, it can't be that cold. It felt that cold. Craig Hendricks punt, 32 yards. The Pro Bowl punter. It's just a tough day to do anything. And that gave the Patriots terrific field position with a 14-14 tie. 4th and 3 for the Patriots. Even with Adam Vinatieri, they're going for it. Too far away. Troy Brown picks up the first down. Same drive. It's Brady. Under pressure. Gets the pass away. Daniel Graham cannot hold on. Brady put it right on the numbers. So that does bring out Vinatieri from 46 yards. 46-yarder is what helped the Titans get past the Ravens, and that just gets over the crossbar. 17-14, Patriots. Now here come the Titans. McNair to Drew Bennett. The Bruin, nice grab. It seems like he reached over the defenders and got his feet down. So he avoids the interception and gets the reception off of a replay, and they say it does count. Same drive, Titans down 3, McNair scrambling. 12 yards on his own, and look at the end. Yeah.
If you're going to tackle a quarterback, you better come with more than that when you're trying to tackle Steve McNair. He's a big guy.
He's limping. Same drive in the pocket. Trying to avoid the hit here, and he just hucks it away. Called for intentional grounding. Big play because it backs him up. So it's now 4th and 12 for the Titans. And with the blitz by Rodney Harrison, McNair's got to throw it up. And Drew Bennett, who made a great catch before, can't hold on. And Ben had a terrific game and couldn't make this one.
What have you done for me lately is what they say.
Is that what it is? Check it out. Can't make the grab. And the Patriots just basically run the clock out after that. McNair telling Brett Bennett, don't worry about it. Good job. 17-14. So the Patriots in 4-degree weather, and that's just the air temperature. It was a 10-degree wind, so it was clearly below 0 for these guys. And Brady, in those conditions, throws it up 41 times, gets a touchdown pass out of it, found 10 different Patriot receivers in this game. Bethel Johnson, 2 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. McNair, the co-MVP, 18 of 26 for 210 yards. Eddie George, we didn't see him in those highlights there. He had such a courageous effort in that victory over the Titans. 16 carries, 48 yards. And as soon as there's any post-game action, we will take you to it. The Patriots on your right, the Titans on the left. Both coaches right now, like I said, just thawing out, speaking to their players. Jeff Fisher delivering a final speech to his players in the locker room this year. And Bill Belichick, who looked like Nanook of the North under about 18 layers, is talking to his players right now as they move on, and they will host the AFC Championship game. The top-seeded Patriots will just sit back in the warmth of their living rooms tomorrow and watch the Colts and the Chiefs and figure out who's coming to their house.
I'll say the Colts.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are gonna make it. Kansas City's a great team, but I think they finished the season on kind of a downward spiral, and they tried to. I don't know if they can rebound. Early in the season, they won a lot of games with the kick returns and stuff like that. I don't know. Kansas City just doesn't really seem like the strong team.
Well, you know, all season long, my thing has been Kansas City's inability to stop people from running the ball. You got Edgerrin James coming in. You've got Peyton Manning playing ball at a high level right now. Marvin Harrison just getting it done. And people like to always talk about the fact that New England, Indianapolis rather, doesn't play well outside. But I mean, they won some big games. I think early in the year they went up to Philadelphia and put a little thumping on them.
Well, as soon as, like I said, as soon as anybody steps to a podium in New England underneath Gillette Stadium that saw a playoff